And Carlos, thank you for the $5. Yo, Bernie, Canelo about to knock your boy Crawford's head off. There's nothing that Canelo ain't seen. Nothing that Canelo ain't seen.
I'm, I'm gonna tell you what he ain't seen. He
Talk
ain't
to
seen Bud Crawford, you motherfucker, and we gonna beat his bitch ass now. Cinnabon is done, huh? We gonna run him through the ringer. We gonna fuck him up. Respect the Canelo, but we gonna beat his ass when he go up against Bud Crawford. Now, now, put your money on it, you bum.
mm.
Mm.
There was a episode with Akim Barak.
Yeah,
They did an interview with Crawford. Now that we're here talking about Crawford,
yeah,
and talking about Mayweather, right?
yeah, yeah.
The boxing bully really likes Mayweather, right? And he asks, I think the question was, could he beat Mayweather, or is he better than Mayweather? And then, Bud says, "Come on, right?" But they're cool. What do you think about that scenario, and also, just that Roy Jones and Mayweather situation? Because I know you tapped into that a little bit earlier in this beginning of this segment. So yeah, what's your thoughts on just all that?
I wouldn't put I wouldn't go against Crawford against nobody. Crawford got a chance against everybody. That's a
Mm.
true story. Crawford got a chance against everybody,
What's your thoughts
and
on?
only one person that beat me. Only person that beat Mayweather's is Bud.
Mm.
Bud the only one beat him. Bud the only one beat him. Bud only beat him. And you know what? Okay, so listen to this. I seen this picture, and it had Andre Shakur in the Mayweather's, and I thought, damn, that's a cold ass picture first. But then I thought, the fucking knowledge in that motherfucker right there. The
Yeah,
knowledge.
conversation.
All the knowledge that them four fellas had. All the knowledge. God dog. Dang. So, like I said, hey, but then I want to preach this too. Even though I know it's competition, but and it's always comparison to this and that. But like I say, he great in his era, Crawford great in his era, and just let it be that. Just let it be that. Dream fight is it coulda, woulda, shoulda. Don't never mean nothing. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. But great fight. All them guys great in their own. Of course, Floyd, you can't never mention no boxing. I don't think no person in boxing right now can ever talk a conversation without mentioning Floyd Mayweather. That boy a bad boy. Floyd Mayweather a bad. You can't talk. And I don't know. I don't think not one boxing conversation ever came up since don't nobody say nothing about Floyd Mayweather.
Until Roy pulled up. Until Roy
Yeah.
pulled
Now
up and spoke his mind. So let's go. Let's get it. What you thought about that controversy between them going back and forth? It all started with Sugar Ray
no,
Leonard, right? Being compared as, I think that he's his favorite fighter. And then he went to Barack and Akin said that I don't even put Floyd in my top five. He's in my top 10, but he's not on my top five. I know that they got some, back and forth going, but like, let's get into it. He said
well,
that he didn't beat nobody at their prime when they were the man. That's what Roy Jones said.
except he forgot Diego
Besides
Corrales.
Canelo.
And when he did and Canelo was
And
just
even that,
entering
he
into his
wasn't
prime.
at his prime at that time either. You're right.
Right, right. He was just stepping in, he was just going into it. So, but you can't take away the Diego Corrales win, and then like I said, from all accounts, Casamiro wouldn't fight. Guys, he couldn't get them fights. Then he couldn't get those fights. Couldn't get those fights from what I'm saying because he didn't have that pull that he has now. You know what I mean? He didn't have that pull when he was at that weight 30, 35. He didn't have the aura or on him that he had that he got now. So but Floyd, you can't take nothing away from him. But I do feel like he said, he could have fought Paul Williams. Not saying that if he would have won or lost, but that would have been a great fight. It was an intriguing fight, just like with Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Hearns. And that's the fight that if I'm Floyd Mayweather, I'm looking at that. Just like I see Shakur, he was in his Floyd Mayweather mode, and this fight was a payday. You could tell. Even the way he introduced himself was like Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? It's like paying an ode to you one of your heroes, some guys you look up to, which I understand that because when I fought my last fight, I wore the bathrobe. I wiped my feet in the ring, just like the old time fighters, paying a homage to them, and he did that. So if I'm Floyd Mayweather, that's the fight I've been looking for because this guy's not a killer like Tommy Hearn as far as knockout puncher, but he's a volume puncher. He's tall, and it's going to be a difficult fight. And he's like the logical contender for my world championship. So this is my Sugar Ray Leonard moment. Okay, he didn't take it as that. I don't know why, but he didn't. So I understand where Roy coming from that. But yeah, a lot of things Roy said was true, but I still didn't like uh and that's it too. At that time he could have fought Paul Williams. He did have that mystique to where he could pick and choose his fights. He didn't fight Pacquiao, when everybody wanted him to fight. And so I understand them drawbacks. And he got to understand that if he was looking at himself, he would probably think the same thing Floyd would. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You know how we get down. You know how things is. And I thought this too. I say, but you know what? Smart. Smart, smart, smart. Floyd smart and smart win the game. So he beat the guys he was supposed to beat, and you can't take nothing away from him. And it is what it is. But I hated the way he did Roy Jones with the with the way he put the fight up and showing all his highlights of him losing and everything like that. Because I don't think Roy was hating on him. Even Mike Tyson said the same thing. Everybody, it ain't now. These your peers now. These guys already been superstars before you. Was hands down, pound for pound before you, and everything else they got to come along with it. So, don't they these guys don't give no fuck. They already lived their lives. So what you doing don't, what I mean? Don't who don't give a fuck. And then at the same time, it's like this. The guy that got handed everything don't get as much credit as the guy that had to work for everything. Yeah, and I'm not saying he got handed, but I'm just saying it's a different way. Roy Jones, how he came up, he was so dynamic, he couldn't get no fights. He couldn't get no fights. You know what I mean? And he had to go all the way to heavyweight to fight. He had to do shit to make himself to motivate himself. He had to play basketball games, then fight. You know what I'm saying? And then when he got into the fights, he fought him. Tarver was number one contender. He ended up beating Tarver. Went up heavyweight to fight that guy. You know what I'm saying? Fought James Toney when James Toney was the guy, like he said. Put on spectacular performances, and he was an entertainer. So I can't take it away from Roy. It's just we just need to be better about things. And Floyd got to understand this too. That when you're calling yourself the greatest, it's not just judged on that you win or lose. It's not just judged on if you won or lose, or if so he got to understand that within himself. So
Alan,
I just hate the way they did it.
mm, Alan Day, thank you for the two-piece. After Bud smokes Nello,
What do Roy got?
they're going
Hold on,
to
why do
say
Roy
it's a
do?
cherry pick.
Oh, but you can't listen. You cannot pick you cannot cherry pick Canelo.
Nah, not after
You
moving
can't.
up weight like that.
You can't. So we ain't
And
gonna
he's a
worry about that.
legend.
But
And he's a legend.
and-
An active
exactly.
legend.
And, and, and,
It's not like a
and at the same
retired
time, we talking
legend. It's an
about
active legend.
and we talking about a guy that got and we talking about a guy that got a sturdy chin and everything else. Come on, man. That ain't no cherry pick. But this guy saying that Roy Jones, people annoy me. Why the fuck would Roy Jones be fucking jealous of Floyd Mayweather? I don't understand for what. I don't
Mm,
understand for what. Roy Jones could have listen. Roy Jones could have retired after he beat Tarver, and they would have probably called him the greatest fighter ever. They would have gave him little shit because of the fights with the police dude and da da da. But I'm just saying he could have protected himself in that way because he just like Andre Ward. He had the charisma to talk. He could go all over. And when you end on that note, just like how they hell in Rocky Marciano, man, you go on forever for that. Just like Roy Jones, just like Andre Ward doing right now. His the way he carry himself, the way he fought, everything else about it. Man, he could go on, but Roy Jones a real fighter, just like Shane Mosley. Just like Shane Mosley. He could have retired. He could have stopped at a certain point and you know what I mean? But he kept going, kept going. He didn't have to give that fella the chance. Winky Wright. He could have fought a lesser guy and used that title and defended that 54-pound title and made, he didn't have to give a guy like that the championship, a shot at the title. But, these guys coming from the old day fighters, this is where they come from. They coming from a sense of a competition, a sense of what have you done for me lately? I was watching, what fight was that? Hold on. I just had it at the tip of my tongue. Fuck. Damn it. I'll be talking so much. Floyd Patterson and Sonny Liston. They didn't want to give. Everybody said no, you ain't got a chance, but he said the man deserved a chance at the championship. Even though I feel like I probably couldn't beat him, the man deserved a shot at championship, and he gave him a shot at championship. So, I can go on the list. So that's the old that we coming from, and again, a lot of fighters, they say it ain't about always if you win. Sometimes when you lose, you go higher, just like Jack Dempsey when he lost to Gene Tunney the second time. You go higher. They hated him. He was despised. But once he fought and did that, he went up higher. So I don't know.